Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we've landed on Malfurion, which means, I believe, and don't correct me if I'm wrong because I need this victory, we're over halfway done. The current plan right now for the creation of these videos is every Monday and Friday, I'm going to be streaming the behind-the-scenes process over on Twitch because you guys liked it. And I'll be honest with you, the editing on this is even easier than it normally is, so we're going to keep doing it for as long as you guys keep watching. Malfurion is a character that has received some extensive changes over the course of the last year and a half, and differentiating what was like in the last A through Z and what was in this A through Z was kind of difficult, so there might be a little bit of overlap there, so I apologize for that. But basically, the way you should think about this is that he was a character that was very one-dimensional. He had one talent build, but it was a good talent build. With that talent build, he could solo support anything in the whole world if he wanted to, and if you put another support with him, he became even better at everything. So one thing they did was remove a lot of his sustain. His mana usage over time has gone up, and his ability to regen mana over time has gone down. And this means that every key press matters more and more on Malfurion than it ever has before. Other than that, he has more build variety now, being able to effectively do Moonfire builds, effectively have root builds, and of course, the solo support playstyle as well. So, all in all, I think the rework was a success, but it's definitely a vast departure from what we used to know of Malfurion.
Balloon, grant us strength.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Towers of Doom today. The friendly team on a Malfurion, Gazlowe, Varian, and the elite Tauren Chieftain. Gazlowe is our only damage dealer. That's a little fucking terrifying. The enemy team, Ragnaros, Asmodan, Garrosh, Junkrat, and Rhaegar. The ability of the enemy team to move us around can easily isolate one of us, i.e. me. They're gonna isolate me and kill me. We got a lot more healing than we sure do.
5, 4, 3.
Dude, look at that Malfurion emoji. It's so excited about life. It's so excited about everything. So I want to deal as much damage as possible. So I think one of the ways that we're going to do that is by picking up Moonburn here. This is our new talent. It's a quest at level 1 that allows us to... Oh, fuck me. Whew. I just walk right up to him every time. I never learn. I just never learn. It allows us to increase the damage of our Moonfire versus minions. Don't worry, this will come into play a little bit more later as well. I'm going to roam up top to clear that lane because no one else is doing so. And if we're going to win, we need some XP, boys. We need some of that XP. Asmodan currently soaking both lanes with his trait. So we need to at least try to match him. I'm going to ping bottom lane for some assistance to make sure that the friendly team soaks. So, the fact that I picked up a Moonfire talent at all may seem very confusing to you if you're not used to the new Malfurion, because these were talents that no one ever bothered using prior to his rework. And to be totally... Oh god, I just rammed that whole thing. And to be totally honest, most people never even pressed the Moonfire ability, because in most cases, especially after the rework to his mana return, what we would see a lot of the times is Malfurion players simply didn't have enough mana to actually... No power slide? We could have killed him. That was a kill. I believed in that. What would happen is you never had any mana to actually cast Moonburn anyway. But they... Or Moonfire anyway, excuse me. But they actually lowered the amount of mana it takes to cast this, while they raised the amount of mana it takes to cast your Q. So... I mean, you still kind of don't have mana to Q whenever you want to, but you have enough mana to Moonfire whenever you feel like it, especially if you're getting regen globes after every minion as well. I'm going to try to build for as much damage as possible because I really genuinely do feel like our team is going to need it. I'm going to try to channel because it looks like everyone else is zoning. Varian making his way down to the bottom lane to help out our Gazlowe. It's Asmodan Asmodan and Garrosh versus a Gazlowe Varian. That's actually... I don't know who wins that. Well, if Gazlowe walks into the towers, I think he loses that. Okay. We can rotate down here, though, and try to help out and stop the Rhaegar at the same time. Try to buy us a little bit more time while they're moving down here. We are going to go for full Moonfire at Level 4. This is, oh shit. I'll tell you what it does in a moment. Let's try to win this team fight. Regrowth on our Varian player. Let's put some roots down here. Unfortunately, ETC was taken out, and now I'm gonna be dipping out of here as well, slowly but surely. Thank you. I can go this way, I don't mind. Appreciate you. Say hello to your mother for me.
The land and
Alright, we'll just chill. We'll go middle. Dude, Junkrat just spent his whole time sieging this. What a boss. Okay, we're fine, right? Yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling. Let's go ahead and see if we got the going here. Okay, so I guess I should start with, if you've never seen Malfurion before, his Q ability is a reroll. It's a small heal over time that he can give to allies or himself. His W ability is Moonfire, and this is the spammable thing that we're going to be getting the majority of our damage out of today. Even though we are a support hero, we do have a viable damage path, which I'm going to try to pursue in this video because of just the comp that we have. Like, I feel like we need a little something to help out. So Moonfire is a great way of clearing waves with this build, but also just poking at enemy teams. And then our E ability is Entangling Roots, and this had its responsiveness improved in the past year. Before, Entangling Roots more or less was you put it down and hope that it actually catches something, because there's a delay in the center of the circle before it expands, and that delay, before that kicks in, you can't actually root anything, even if they're right in the center of the skill. So they did improve that in the last year, and I think they overtuned it a little bit and kind of went back. They kind of made it a little bit more similar to what it used to be because it was just straight up too strong. Our level 4 talent increases Moonfire's radius by 50% and reduces the mana cost by 5. So it costs 10 mana. 10 mana to use our Moonfire right now. Please don't throw me, Mr. Garrosh. Please don't throw me. So our only damage dealer, Gazlowe, is dead at the start of this encounter, and now I'm dead too. Feels good, man. Thank you. Hey, actually we made it out of there, but Varian isn't doing too well. We'll try to give him a little bit of loving as he's running away from this enemy team, but as you can see, they're just kind of powering through us right now. I think we have one of the worst comps I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not sure how that happened, but I think we have one of the worst comps I've ever seen. Okay. We are going to go for Lunar Shower now. Successive Moonfires are more powerful. Using Moonfire reduces the cooldown of the next Moonfire, and then we're also going to be gaining 15% damage, stacking up to 3 times. Now, it just says using Moonfire here. It says using Moonfire. It doesn't say hitting things with Moonfire. It doesn't say successfully damaging things with Moonfire. It just says using Moonfire. So as you're roaming around the map, you can constantly press Moonfire and slowly but surely tick away health from the enemy team. Now, of course, they have an Asmodee and he has a lot of health, but slowly but surely, you can start to do a lot of damage before the enemy team really notices. And in a game that maybe doesn't have a strong support or a bursty support, let's say like an Uther, this damage can start to add up. But I am already noticing a little bit of the mana problems that comes into play here. I was talking before we started recording today that this talent alone is a nightmare to Tracer players because as they're trying to dive around the back line of an enemy team and deal their damage, you're just whittling away at her health in a very meaningful way, which can be extremely difficult for Tracers to deal with. So I imagine the same thing applies to Junkrat's, although he's a lot further away at the same time though, so maybe it doesn't apply to Junkrat at all. Our team's having a pretty hard time competing with the enemy team here, and if I'm honest, I can see why, but we're going to try to stay positive. We're going to try not to get overwhelmed here. We are very low on mana though, and don't have a way of regenning it right now, and the next objective is coming up in 20 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get some mana back. They are level 10, so us winning one of these engagements is probably... Oh, it's probably not looking too well, but you know what? We'll give it a try anyway. I'm on my way to middle lane. We have a 14.8% damage bonus to our Moon Burn talent. Now, this is only to minions, but it does allow us to clear lanes very, very quickly. I'm here, bud. I'm here, bud. I got you. I got thrown in a little bit. I'm isolated a little bit, but don't worry. They're focusing me. Did we beat a Rhaegar? I don't know. Thanks. Hi, Anna. Thank you for the heals, baby girl. Yeah, we're just kind of being zoned out of everything, and Gazlo's split pushing. Granted, he is trying to get us to level 10. I understand that, but split pushing on this map only goes so far because you can't get to the core. Just ping for some assistance in hopes that he notices me. Nope. Nope. Alright, we are going to be picking up Twilight Dream here at level 10, and this is a talent that used to give us mana return. It doesn't do that anymore. So Tranquility is a very, very slow area heal. It does heal up people around you, but in most cases it's so slow that the damage that an enemy team is able to deal in today's day and age is going to be more than enough to basically completely counteract the ability. Most Malfurion players in the past would be able to heal more effectively with just more mana that you would get from Twilight Dream. And then you also get this very impactful kind of team-wide silence, or enemy team-wide silence, if you use it in the right circumstance. So if we're positioned where the enemy team is trying to deal damage to us and they're surrounding us, then all of a sudden we can do a lot of meaningful, not only damage, but crowd control in those fights in a pretty effective way. Did our Varian go for taunt, or what is he doing? What's his life like right now? He's Twin Blades. Okay, so he's going to deal damage. I'm going to deal damage. We can win these fights. We just have to actually work together on them. Level 13 has been achieved by the enemy team. Honestly, if Varian was up here, I would say that we could just solo the boss right now, but he is currently in the bottom lane. We'll try to heal up our Gazlo as Garrosh is doing a little bit of damage to him. I'll silence these guys so they can't heal. Heal up our Gazlo, root the Rhaegar, and finish him off with a Moonburn. But of course, Gazlo had no faith in me and he just walked away. It's okay. It's okay, Gazlo. I'll just do all the work. It's all right. And those are the kind of playmaking potentials that you can expect out of a Malfurion with that silence. We made it so Rhaegar couldn't heal himself. We rooted him so he couldn't run away. We nuked him with that big bomb going off in the middle of his team, which again is the Twilight Dream. And then, you know, we did a decent amount of damage. I'm trying to get down here to do stuff with the team, but I guess he doesn't want me to, so I'll just clear middle. Sounds good. I mean, I don't think he could actually do enough damage to kill me, so I'll just clear middle lane. See you later. See you later. The enemy team doesn't have a Junkrat, but we don't have a Gazlo because he's spending his entire game up in the top lane. We are going to go for Ice Block versus this particular team. They have several abilities that I'll be able to use Ice Block to dodge, like the Dunk of Asmodan there. Excuse me, not his junk. We can't dodge the Junk of Asmodan. It's far too oppressive. We also have the Garrosh throw with the Q. We might be able to dodge if we react fast enough. And the hammer from the Ragnaros player, I forgot what it's called, but when he throws that down, if we can react in time, we might be able to dodge it. So we can try to avoid those. Varian is spotting the enemy team's Malfurion, and I have the roots! Oh, see, I could have dodged that, but I just straight up did not. We'll go ahead and silence him as well. That was 100% complete overkill, and I should not have done that. That was not worth at all. Do not follow my example. Learn from my mistake. That was 100% useless. Gazlo looks like he's trying to push in until the point that he runs away, and I get... I think I'm done helping Gazlo. I think I'm just gonna let him do his own thing, and I think I'm just done helping Gazlo. Because every time I'm like, hey, he could use a hand over there, we end up dying, and he just walks away. Okay, feels good. All right. Gazlo is thrown into the enemy team's base, but a good power slide from our ETC is gonna move that danger away from him. He's gonna be okay, team. He's gonna be okay. We have a few options we might want to consider here. Ysera's Gift, while above 75% health, regrowth heals for an additional 40% over time. That could be good. That could be really good, especially because we have two healers. The other option here would be Tenacious Roots. Entangling roots grow 25% larger, last 25% longer, and roots targets for 25% longer. Or 0.25 seconds longer. Excuse me, words are hard. I think I'm going to go for that just for some more deniability versus this team. Because I don't know if you've noticed, they've just kind of been walking over us, and roots are the only way that I've made it out of these. So we're just going to continue to root more and more. I'm going to prime up my W here. That'll root him, he's dead. Prime up the W, get that going. If someone walks in here, I'm going to be hitting them hard, boys. Going to be hitting them hard. I can take this damage, I'm not even worried about it. Not even a little. Here they come. Go get him, bud. Go get him, bud. It's all you. It's all you, Varian. This is your time to shine. Get in there, Varian. Or just stand around. I mean, that's fine, too. You know, whatever you need. Whatever you need. We are taunted by Garrosh right now, but we're still pushing forward. ETC is pushed into the enemy team's base. Let's go ahead and silence here so they can't do anything else. Try to keep hitting them with the Moonfires. Wasn't enough damage to security. Oh, I'm dead, huh? Wasn't enough damage to security kills, but it was enough damage to kind of push him back momentarily. Good power slide from ETC means we should have a kill on Garrosh here. Finally. Finally. I say 100% we move in for this right now. We just lost our bottom keep. We need time to get that back, but we have a Twin Blades variant, so let's do this boss. And a Robo-Goblin Gazlowe. And ironically, the Robo-Goblin Gazlowe and the Twin Blades variant are the only ones not participating on this thing that they are indeed some of the best characters in the game to be doing. Instead, we are looking to team fight right now, boys, and I don't think this team fight is going to go well for us. Our Ana has backed up to use the Eye of Horus, which is pretty effective at keeping her team alive in this particular situation. I'm now out of mana, and I'm going to be backing up. Oh, this is frustrating. Frustrating sequence of events. Of course, there's no sippy cup up in the top lane right now, so I'm going to be backing up to get full health in the base. We do need to retake this at some point, but that is going to leave boss open for the enemy team to retake. As of right now, we have one more point on our core than the enemy team does, sitting at 20 to their 19. We have surpassed them in level range already, which is great. Fantastic for us. Yeah, get in there. Yeah. Missed those roots. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. I'm trying to heal him up as he's running away, but I think he was rooted by a Junkrat trap there. Hey, you know what? I really thought that silence was going to be enough to kill Ragnaros. I really did. We'll throw some roots out here. We'll dodge that laser with the ice block and go for the sippy cup. Okay, that worked out. I feel okay about that. Let's give mana to our Ana. I have not been using my Innervate enough. The Moonburn talent is now completed, so we could do more damage to monsters and mercenaries as well. So if we wanted to take these camps, we could be even better at taking them. I walked into a trap here, so I am going to be a little late joining our team. But we might be able to pursue. Let's see. Let's see. We have all of our buildings. Gazlowe's bottom, but we have numbers advantage, so it's okay for Gazlowe to be bottom. Let's root Garrosh here for the time being. Give Innervate to our Ana. Continue to cast our W. We might be able to finish him off. Look at that! Beautiful. Now we can push in here, no problem. Self-heal. We'll put roots down right here to keep these guys back. At least try to. They have so much poke for this. They have so much poke. We really need our front line to move in, which would be ETC or Varian, honestly. Varian could let one of the two supports channel that, and we'd be fine. We have 30 seconds to do this time, and we have a massive numbers advantage, so let's go. We are going to be taking the boss down for the friendly team, and at level 20, I do believe that I am going to be going for Rewind. Bum, bum, bum. My favorite generic talent in the game somehow remained in the game on this character, so why not take it? I like double roots. What's wrong with double roots? Just to be clear, Storm Shield's really good, and Astral Communion's pretty good too. Rewind's probably the weakest here, but I just like the fact that Rewind's still in the game. The enemy team's Junkrat and Asmodan are pushing top right now, but it looks like we might be stealing this camp away from the enemy team. As the Rhaegar's running away, I'll put the roots in his path to stop him, but it doesn't even look like we need them as the friendly team does take him down. We're going to continue to cast Moonfire over and over and over and over, and before we lose the bonus, cast it over and over and over and over. By the way, that thing next to my face, to the right of my face right now, is our counter for how long we keep our damage bonus while Moonfire is like We have 6 seconds to cast Moonfire, and that's the indicator for that. That's what I was trying to say. The objective is popping up, and we have a 2-member numbers advantage versus this enemy team, which means we should be able to do this no problem, but there's a slight issue. We're missing a building, but Gazlo just remedied that. By Gazlo taking this bottom keep from the enemy team, that means we have enough points to end the game right now. Previously to that, we only had 6 off of this objective. Now we have 8 off of this objective. Varian is looking to channel the middle objective right now, or at least he's standing over here. Ragnaros is able to interrupt this one, so we should focus on the bottom one for now, which it looks like we're doing with our ETC player. He's going to be able to channel that no problemo. And then I'm going to be moving up to try to just keep these guys at bay. Rhaegar's here. Let's try to root his path so he can't move that way. And while they are pushing them out, I will channel here to try to win the game. Genuinely think this is one of the worst team comps we've had, but somehow we found a way to make it work and pull out the win here today. Wow.
Well done, heroes.
You know, sometimes you just log in and you can tell, you can tell a game's not going well. Did I say GG? But sometimes that, like, inkling in your brain will lead you astray. I always say that I think the main reason I'm disappointed in Hero League is because I go in with the expectation that everyone's going to play the same. But in Quick Match, I never have that expectation. But for some reason today, I was like, yo, our comp's so bad, there's no way. But clearly I was wrong. Life lesson learned. If you're following along at home, Moonburn, Full Moonfire, Lunar Shower, Twilight Dream, Ice Block, Tenacious Roots, and Rewind. I do want to talk about a few more things before we get out of here, though, because I think they're interesting. The Treant, let's just go ahead and hide the base cam. The Treant used to be a joke talent. The Treant used to do nothing, if you remember the old Malfurion, but now there's quests specifically designed around the roots of Malfurion that can make the Treant hit for a pretty considerable amount of damage every time you use your roots. There's also some interesting talents in here that kind of help Malfurion battle the double support meta, so he can use Entangling Roots to force the enemy supports to heal for 30% less than what they would do otherwise. Now, he did, unfortunately, lose Cleanse at this level range, and he did lose Mule at some point as well, but for some reason, this druid holds on to the StarCraft scouting drone, which doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And at level 20, he did used to have Bolt of the Storm here, but that was removed and combined with Astral Communion. You can now teleport in with your heroic ability at level 20, your Storm talent ability, and then silence everyone around you. And this is similar to what his playstyle was before, because prior to his rework, you would hold on to Twilight Dream, then blink in at level 20 with Bolt of the Storm, and then hit Ice Block to kind of jump in. The bomb would go off, everyone would be silenced, and then you'd be sitting here safe inside of your Ice Block as your team moves in to win the fight. So even though he had some talents removed, that playstyle is still there in his baseline kit. Now, this used to slow enemy heroes, according to what chat told me before. I didn't remember what it did. And also increase the silence duration. But now it does increase the silence duration to 4 seconds, adding an extra second on to the Twilight Dream. So that is Malfurion. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. This seems weird to say on Twitch every single time. Up next, we're going to have Malthael, the newest character to get Gray Mane Syndrome in the Nexus. And in my opinion, the character that benefits the most from having a draft. So maybe we'll bring in viewers in the next game just to try to have a somewhat organized team comp, because trying to play Malthael with 4 other squishy assassins on your team basically feels like you're just pulling one tooth out of your mouth every time you engage. Like, it's a terrible feeling. But see y'all next time. Okay, bye.